You get home from the hospital, you finally have your baby in your arms, and you're home, and all of a sudden, baby just won't stop crying. What the heck do you do? Well, joining us now is Sandy Artinian, DOHC's new maternal nurse educator, hopefully to give these moms out there some peace and calm. One of the hardest things that moms say is that those first few weeks when you get home, right?
It is definitely a crying baby. And all babies have a personality already when they're there, and some are pretty easygoing, but you have some that are more sensitive and cry more, and that crying can be really tough.
So I know there's crying and then there's colic. What is colic?
Colic is excessive crying, and it's defined as crying for 3 hours, at least 3 hours a day, at least 3 days a week for 3 weeks. It's been going on for 3 weeks, so they define that as colic.
So let's just digest this a little bit more. If mom is trying to figure out how to know if it's just crying or it's colic, you said 3 hours a day, 3 days a week, 3 weeks in a row,
right,
means it's colic. What else do we need to know about the symptoms?
Kind of what sets it apart is the baby is gonna have clenched fists. Their stomach might even look distended, and you might hear gas, and they get red in the face, and they look like they're in pain. And so that's why it's so distressing.
So we know there's no definitive cause of colic, but there are some tried and true methods that could definitely help, right? Tell us.
Yes, all right, so movement. Colicky babies tend to like, and all newborns really like movement. So walking them around, rocking in a rocking chair, holding them, swaying them, rocking that way. Sometimes vibrations. You'll hear, I put my baby in the baby seat and stuck it on the washing machine, different things like that, or you have to drive the baby in the car. That's the only time they'll relax and stop crying. Sometimes soft music, dim lights, skin to skin is always good to try that, where you really have the baby's naked chest on your naked chest. Skin to skin can be helpful.
And then I always hear people talk about the 5 S's.
Yes, the 5 S's is a technique developed by Dr. Harvey Karp, who is a pediatrician and a child development expert. And he came up with this 5 S's that I hear all the time that does work.
Let's go into detail about those 5 S's. Tell us.
Okay, great. So the first one is you want to have your baby swaddled.
Which, it's not just wrapping them in a blanket. There's a lot of detail to a swaddle.
Right, and there are tips and tricks on that, but we want to have her swaddled tightly and with their arms close in and their legs drawn up. And you're going to then hold her on the side or even on the tummy like this. Both of those positions seem to work really well. And then you're creating a womb-like feeling for the baby, so that's why you want them swaddled. And then you're going to be shh, shh, shh. That's the sound that they heard inside of you in the womb. So we want that. So it's shh, shh, shh. And then it's swinging. And what those are, just small movements with the baby while you're shh, 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 shh. And then suck. The last S is suck. Once the baby's breastfeeding is well established, then the use of a pacifier. For pacifier use, we do want them to have good breastfeeding skills, and that's usually about 6 weeks. So that's the key, but some people will use a pacifier for this part because it works. So you're gonna swaddle, you're gonna hold your baby on the side or on the stomach, you're going to shh, shh, shh. And then you're gonna swing, they call it swing, but you're making the short movements, and then suck on a pacifier.
So a great book, moms, if you're wanting to even go into more detail about this. So Dr. Harvey Karp wrote The Happiest Baby on the Block. I'm actually reading it, and he details all of these 5 S's, and he essentially calls it the 4th trimester, right? You're essentially trying to create, like you said, a womb-like atmosphere, because in theory, those 3 months after a baby's born, they still kind of want to be in the womb, right?
It's a big adjustment for them, too. Yeah. So, yeah. And you can see videos of a baby that is screaming, and they do this technique, stops, they lay the baby down again, and starts right back up again. It is effective. It takes practice, but it is effective.
Do you need to do all 5 S's in that order?
Well, you're kind of doing it at the same time.
Got it.
Yeah. You explain it in order, but you're doing them all at the same time. So when you're holding them here, it's shh, 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 shh.
And this is something in theory you should be practicing on a doll ahead of time, right? There's classes teaching you how to swaddle, all of that. Is that what moms do?
Yes, yeah. And at the hospital, you can ask the nurses to show you a swaddle. That's part of what they do, and they love showing. They like to show you their expertise, and they really want you to be successful at home too. So that's a good way to do it as well.
So Dr. Harvey Karp talks about the 5 S's to really help colic. Any other resources people should know about?
Yeah, if it doesn't improve with the 5 S's or any of the other techniques we talked about, you do want to see your pediatrician. They might want to troubleshoot and see if there's anything else going on. You can also call me. I'd be happy to troubleshoot with you and see if there's anything that we can come up with together that might work. And then also be sure to have friends and family help you. Take turns.
I love that. God bless the 5 S's to give mom a little bit of sanity, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Sandy. Thanks.
You're welcome.